Guys, I'm making a creamy vodka sauce at the sorority house today. It's going to be perfect to go with our chicken tortellinis. So I'm going to start with a little bit of butter in a pan, and then I'm going to throw in one diced onion. Now, I'm cooking for about 20 people today, so you can adjust your recipe accordingly. So onion goes in. It's a medium dice. We're just going to move that around, start softening it up. We don't want this to burn, but we want it to cook through just a little bit. Go ahead and add a little salt and pepper to that. This is the perfect time. We're going to season in layers as we go through this dish. Once that softens up a little bit, guys, I've got some pureed garlic. We're going to go ahead and just add that in. And like I always say, there's no real rules in cooking, so add what you like. If you like a lot of garlic, add a lot. If you like a little, just put a little. As I start mixing this around in there, I realize, hey, maybe I need a little bit more. So I throw another little scoop in there. It's looking good. It smells great. It's time to add that vodka. And I'm throwing the whole bottle in. It's really just a pint of vodka, so it's 2 cups. And I'm going to get that in now. I'm going to move my camera back because I know this is going to flame up when I light it. And it does, and it actually scorches the hair on my hand a little bit. But that's okay. I was prepared for it. And I'll probably move the camera back just a little bit more, because I can feel those flames, and they're hot. And guys, fire safety is always very important in the kitchen. And, well, frankly, I don't want to burn my phone, and that's what I'm recording this all on. So we're going to let this flambe. We're going to let all that alcohol burn off. It'll eventually just put itself out. I can move the camera back up close, and we're going to continue with this. Now I'm going to add a little handful of crushed red chilies. I put those in after the vodka. If I put them in before, they would have scorched. They would have burnt when I had that flambe going on. It would have left a little bitter taste, and we don't want that. So we got to be diligent when we're using flames and when we're burning foods. So next I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomato sauce. We're going to give that a nice stir. That was just 1 can of tomato sauce. Stir that around. Get that mixed up really well. Let that cook for just a minute. Then we're going to go ahead and follow that up with our heavy cream. Now I'm adding a gallon of heavy cream. I know it may seem like a lot. And when I put this in, you're going to think, well, it diluted that way too much. But guys, what I'm going to do is reduce this down, and I'm going to let that cream kind of naturally thicken itself up. And you have to be careful when you're reducing, because this will boil over, so you do want to keep an eye on it. So I'm going to start by just giving it a nice stir, get it all mixed up. And then you're going to see I'm going to put my heat on about a medium. Just let that slowly start simmering. If it gets too bubbly, just turn it down a little bit. If it's not bubbly enough, turn it up. Make your little adjustments. But we're going to let that reduce for about 10 or 15 minutes, start to thicken up. Then I'm going to add some shredded Parmesan cheese. That's going to also help with the thickening process. So I'm going to stir that in. We're going to do this in steps. Once I get a nice smooth consistency, guys, I'm going to go ahead and add some grated Parmesan now. And believe it or not, between the grated and the shredded, they actually have different flavors. So we're going to add that in there. We're going to get that mixed up really well. Again, we're going to just let this keep kind of reducing down a little bit, real slow. I stir it almost constantly. I don't want it scorching on the bottom. I take a little taste and I realize, all right, let's do some final seasoning. A little more salt, a little bit more pepper. I stir that in. I realize we're also going to need a little bit more cheese. We give that a stir. And actually didn't quite have the whole zip that I wanted, guys, so I'm going to add just a little bit more of those crushed red chilies. This is looking pretty good. Don't forget, you always got to taste your food, guys, and you can always make these adjustments. There's no rules. Just get it all mixed up. It's reducing down perfect. I'm going to take one more taste, make sure it's okay, and guys, it's ready. This is good to go. I'm going to pour it in a little pan just to hold it off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and start cooking. So I got these beautiful chicken tortellinis. I didn't make them. I don't have time to do that, guys. But they are nice and they're fresh. They're not frozen. I throw them in the water. They cook in about 4 minutes. I put a piece of garlic bread down on the griddle. I get my sauce in the pan. Now, we don't like to waste any food around here, so I had some leftover pulled chicken. I went ahead and just threw that right into the sauce. Tortellinis go in as well. guys, that's it. That's looking pretty good. Give that a nice little tossy toss. That's going to go right down onto the plate. Gets finished with that piece of garlic bread. Super simple, just like that, guys. And that's ready for service. Out to the dining room it goes, and I have actually a little dish for myself to taste. I get in there and try it. Man, this was just beautiful, nice and creamy. The tomatoey cheesiness of this sauce just hits. The tortellinis are great. And guys, I gotta try it with my bread. I tear a piece of that garlic bread in half. I give a little dippity dip. Man, what a treat. Thanks for watching. Cheers, everyone.